My name is Taniya. I don't come from money, and I don't wear expensive clothes or carry a designer bag. I'm just me. I work as a waitress at a mid-range restaurant in the city. Nothing fancy, but enough to pay rent and cover my needs. My life isn't luxurious, but I never cared much about that. I believe peace and kindness are worth more than gold. But not everyone saw it that way. My ex-boyfriend used to roll his eyes when I said I had another shift. He once told me, "You're wasting your life. You think you'll ever be more than just a waitress." That hurt. Not because I wanted to be rich or famous, but because he never saw value in me. He wanted a girlfriend who wore high heels and hung out with people who could offer him opportunities. I wore sneakers and came home smelling like grilled chicken. Eventually, he left. And surprisingly, I felt relieved. I didn't want to be with someone who couldn't see my worth just because my wallet was thin. I may be poor, yes, but I'm honest, loyal, and I know how to love deeply. That was enough for me. Or at least, I thought it was. Until he walked in. It was a Wednesday afternoon. Quiet. The lunch rush had died down, and I was wiping down table 12 when I saw him walk in. Tall, calm, a little older than the usual crowd. He wore a navy blue shirt, sleeves folded neatly at the cuffs. His shoes were clean but not flashy. His watch was simple, not the kind that screams money, but the kind you wear when you don't need to prove anything. I greeted him like I did with every customer. "Hi there. Table for one?" He smiled a small, genuine smile. "Yes, please." He ordered a grilled salmon and black coffee. No sides, no substitutions. Just simple. While I served him, I noticed something unusual. He looked around the restaurant, not in boredom or judgment, but like someone observing the world quietly. When I refilled his water, he looked me in the eye and said, "Thank you." Most customers don't. The second time he came in, it was a Friday. Same order, same smile. By the third visit, I remembered his table, and he remembered my name. He kept coming back, once a week, then twice, then almost every other day. Always the same calm voice, the same warm eyes. With each visit, we spoke a little more. Not just, "How's your day?" but real conversations about life, about books, about heartbreak. He told me his name was Ryan. He'd been married once for 8 years. No children. The marriage ended not in anger, but in silence, distance. "Sometimes," he said, "you can sleep next to someone for years and still feel completely alone." I felt that, because I knew what it was like to love someone who made you feel small. We were from different worlds. That was obvious. He had a driver, owned property, and sometimes left big tips when I wasn't looking. I lived in a rented studio, shared a washing machine with 3 other tenants, and counted coins before buying groceries. But when we talked, it didn't feel like a millionaire talking to a waitress. It felt like two lonely souls, finally being seen. One rainy night after my shift ended late and the buses had stopped, he offered me a ride home. I hesitated, but he said gently, "No pressure. I just don't want you walking alone at midnight." I agreed, and the rain poured down as we drove. When we reached my place, the power was out, leaving my apartment dark and cold. He offered, "You can crash at my place if you want. Just sleep, nothing else." I looked at him, unsure, but something in his eyes told me I could trust him. We drove to his house, warm lights and the smell of cinnamon tea welcoming me. He gave me a guest shirt, offered tea, and showed me to the guest bedroom. But when I stepped out, trembling from the cold, I saw him on the couch. "Can I sleep here tonight?" I asked. "I don't want to be alone." He walked over slowly, saying, "Of course, but only if you're sure. I won't touch you, not even your hand." That night, we lay side by side, 2 pillows, 1 blanket, hearts racing but still. True to his word, he didn't touch me, not even once. He whispered, "Good night, Taniya." And in that moment, I knew he loved me for my soul. Ryan never pushed me to talk about his past, and I never asked. What mattered was the present, his kindness and respect every day. He never crossed any line, never rushed me, never made me feel like I owed him anything. We built something real, one conversation, one smile, one quiet moment at a time. He was patient when I doubted myself, especially when whispers about our difference in social status crept in. "Taniya," he said once, "I don't care about money or what anyone else thinks. I care about you." Those words became my anchor. I began to believe that maybe, just maybe, someone like me could be loved just as I was, without masks. Ryan didn't come with baggage. He came with an open heart, and for the first time in a long time, I felt safe. Our love wasn't loud. It wasn't rushed. It was quiet, like the soft hum of a late-night song that only we could hear. There were nights I longed to reach out, to feel his hand, to close the distance between us. But Ryan always held back, not because he didn't want me, but because he wanted to earn my trust. One evening, as we watched the city lights, he said, "Love isn't about rushing. It's about waiting, understanding, and respecting." I wanted to believe him, but my heart was a tangled mess of hope and fear. Could someone really love me, a simple waitress, without conditions? The nights we spent together, sometimes sharing the same bed, were the hardest yet most beautiful moments. No touch, no whispered promises, just 2 souls learning to be close without fear. I would lie awake, tracing the shapes of his face in the dark, wondering if he felt the same electric pull I did. And he always did. But his restraint spoke volumes. It told me he loved me for who I was, not just for what I looked like, or what I could give him. It was the kind of love I had only dreamed about, patient, pure, and real. One evening, after a long shift, I was completely drained, ready to collapse in the back room of the restaurant. Ryan found me there, eyes half closed, leaning against the wall. Instead of teasing me like most customers would, he quietly sat beside me. "You look tired," he said softly, and I shrugged. "It's just work." He didn't say much after that, just took my hand, not romantically, but in a way that said, "I'm here." In that moment, all my walls fell down. I wanted to pull away, scared of what this closeness meant, but I didn't. He held my hand until I felt brave enough to smile. Another time, during a power outage at the restaurant, we found ourselves trapped inside after closing hours. The dark was thick, and the silence was heavy, but I stayed calm. We joked about ghosts and old stories to fill the silence. When I accidentally bumped into him, I expected an awkward moment, but instead, he caught me by the shoulders, steadying me, and whispered, "It's okay. I've got you." That night, as we left the restaurant under the starry sky, I felt something shift inside me. It wasn't just attraction anymore. It was trust. It was safety. It was home. I never saw it coming. One chilly evening, Ryan asked me to join him on a walk in the park. We talked about everything and nothing, the way people do when their hearts are open. Suddenly, he stopped under a tree lit by a single street lamp. "Taniya," he said, his voice trembling slightly, "I want to spend the rest of my life with you. No fancy ring, no crowd, just us and the quiet night." I wanted to laugh, cry, and say yes all at once. I told him, "Yes, I want that too." And just like that, my life changed forever. They say love stories have to be perfect to be worth telling, but ours isn't perfect. It's messy, quiet, and real. I'm a waitress, and he's a millionaire. Some may say we come from different worlds. But real love doesn't care about money or status. It cares about hearts brave enough to trust and patient enough to wait. As I share this story, I hope it reminds you that no matter where you come from, you deserve to be loved purely and deeply. If you're waiting for your own story, remember, unexpected meetings can change your life forever. If this touched your heart, like and subscribe. Share it with someone who needs to hear that love is possible. Comment below your most meaningful love story. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care and keep believing in love.